every year I feel like people have to figure out how to get out there. Like
Hmm.
what is the marketing strategy for 2023?
Hmm.
2022 the marketing strategy was go viral. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was that was most artists. How can we go viral? And this year, I feel like there's gonna have to be more strategy because
Hmm.
now everybody's jumping on TikTok, everybody's jumping on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Everything's starting to be more saturated, so you have to think of ways to, I guess, build a fan base.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to use this episode as like a time for us to just talk about some things that we think, or just things that we speculate going into the year, so that at the end of the year we can be like, we were completely wrong, or I told you.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, just kind of diving into it a little bit while it's still on my mind because I had a little bit of a muff punt last time the episode didn't record, so we're talking about music strategies now. But
Yeah,
there's been some changes since the last time we recorded this. I saw where Drake and 21 announced they were going on tour,
yeah.
and then last year, obviously, when Kendrick was on tour, Baby Keem opened up for him. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if you have these big acts going on tour this year,
Mhm.
like is opening up for them kind of a way to get yourself out there, like marketing yourself better. That's something I've never really thought about, I guess.
I would say that's always been. I mean, every
Mhm.
show you've been to, there's always an opening act. But I feel
Yeah.
like now, like you said, with Baby Keem, with Kendrick,
Hmm.
21 with Drake,
Yeah.
like them are heavy. Like them are people who could tour on their own. Could
Right.
they sell out a stadium on their own?
Yeah.
You know what
And,
I mean? Probably not. Like Akeem probably couldn't sell out a stadium. With
and I was
Kendrick,
always,
easily.
yeah, no, for sure. And that was always my question, I think, with 21, because I've seen him twice in concert, but it's always been little, kind of hole in the wall where tickets aren't
Yeah.
that much.
Yep.
And now I'm like, now you're doing these big
Stadium.
stadiums
It's a
with
stadium
Drake.
tour.
Yeah, so I'm just like, what does that do? And I think, didn't he just get named like Complex's best rapper of
He did.
2022?
He did.
Man, man,
I have no thoughts on that. I ain't gonna
I,
lie. I have no
I don't
thoughts on
either.
that.
I don't either. It takes a certain person to make that decision. And
Yeah, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Very true. But
Oh my gosh.
I have to say that's a good one.
Mhm.
That's a really good one. And I mean, this is just a good segue into when I went to the Kendrick concert. I don't know if he did this at yours too, but the person that opened up for Kendrick and Keem, I forgot his name already.
I know who you're talking about because he's on Mr. Morale.
He is. He is.
Yes.
Well, that young man
Yeah.
put a QR code in his concert. And you
Oh.
could scan the QR code and it took you to a website. And on the
Yeah.
website, you could put in your email, you
Mhm.
could click directly to his album. It was his platform.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that a lot of artists are going to focus on more this year is how can I create my own platform, whether that's my own website, whether that's my own Discord, because we're seeing what's happening with something like a Twitter, where
Yeah.
Twitter could, if they could go to Twitter to HQ and just click the off switch. You
Yeah.
lose everything. So
Exactly.
I feel like people now have to think of ways. If you are my fan, if you
Yeah.
really rock with me, you have to be here.
Hmm.
And I think a website or something like that. Like I like Discord. Discord is something that I've recently got into last year. Discord is really cool. It's like a private chat room with all of your closest fans.
Yep.
And I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
So no, I definitely do think Discord is something that's useful that a lot of artists probably will use because I think we've even talked on here before. We're always trying to find the people that to like interview even on here that are like next up, and
Yeah,
I think Discord is kind of a good way to get personal like with those people in that space because if they're constantly
yeah,
just posting on social media and you're just seeing it, you're just scrolling. In my mind, the posts and stuff get lost, like the releases
yep.
get lost. But if you're like in that room, actually like being interactive, like with the up and coming artists, I mean that's fun for fans to
It's
experience.
it's really fun,
It's
really fun.
yeah, it's almost like Twitter Spaces, like for a minute when those were like, I know
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
still do them, but like yeah, it's
They
similar to
fell off.
that. Yeah, they fell. It was a pretty hard fall off for
Yeah.
those.
But yeah, no, and you brought this up last time we talked about this was like
Mhm.
Kendrick had a website for his
Yes.
album rollout,
Yeah.
and people were clicking through that. I can't imagine what the impressions and the stats look like behind the scenes of just how often people were just on the website. And
Yeah.
I just think from the standpoint of we don't know how long Instagram gonna be around. We don't know how long Twitter gonna be around. You know what I mean? I think it's
Right.
just important that people do think of ways to build an email list. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Build a website. Build things that this is mine. I own it. If it turns
Mhm.
off, I turned it off. And I think that's something very important in 2023.
But I think to your point about Kendrick's website, one of the things I kind of thought was unique about it um, was it was more than just like music. Like, hey, like, because I mean, you can
Yeah.
easily have the website and be like, hey, like, check out my new album. But the fact that they
Yeah.
had so much stuff on there, like the magazines and everything, I was just kind of like, this is something I'd never seen before from a music artist.
Yeah.
So I thought Kendrick's was definitely super unique in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was unique.
So what else did you have on your mind?
Man, as far as marketing yourself, man, I don't know. It's really hard. I think like you said, the going viral thing last year, that was interesting to me because Steve Lacy's album was one we talked about when we did the albums from last year, and so many people recognize songs off there just from TikTok.
Yep.
And I was like, is it just too commercial? Because you talked about how you really liked his project, The Lo-Fi's.
Yes. That's always in rotation.
Yeah, so to go from like that project, and I had to go back and listen to it again. I was like, you know what, I actually really rock with the Lo-Fi's.
Mm-hmm.
But then Gemini writes, I was like, this seems really kind of commercially. So I'm just like wondering, like, the social media thing, I get it, but I think like for people like me and you who kind of go through music and like appreciate like to just find stuff, just being that accessible on like somebody's stupid TikTok post, I'm like, okay, like that's cool and all, but that doesn't grab my attention. My attention, like you said, goes to things like a website. How are you pulling me in that way, or like a space where I can interact with you?
Yeah, yeah. I will bring up another point. I know you're a vinyl head.
Yes, yes.
I think physical music makes a strong return 2023. I brought up this stat last time we just talked about this, but last year was the most money vinyls have ever made.
Man,
2022 was the most money vinyls have ever made. That's mind blowing?
That me. Is. It's like, but when did that happen though? It's just like know. That is so wild. Because I remember buying like my first vinyls, actually Good Kid, Mad City, like 3 years ago. And ever since then, I'm just like, I just had this like appetite to have physical music.
Yep.
And then it's just out of nowhere, just kind of. And the thing about it is, vinyls have always been there.
They have forever.
So it's like so like what was that?
I don't know. I will say, I mean, this happened with the whole NFT stuff that was becoming a thing. Is when you don't have something tangible. You really start. It loses value.
It does.
There's no other way to put it. If you don't have it tangible, it loses value. And I think that just really started hitting people the past 2-3 years. I listened to your album. What now?
Yeah.
Where now it's I have your album. It's signed. It's hanging on my wall. It's sitting on my coffee table. Like there's a whole nother aspect to I actually have your music in front of me.
Yeah, but weren't some people buying cassette tapes too?
I got a cut. Look,
I was gonna say. I thought you had cassette tapes too. I was gonna say
cassette tape.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought you had.
I got
you have the Neptunes.
Oh
boy,
man.
Bro, I love that though. I'd love the cassette tapes. That's what I'm saying. I'd love that.
The cassette tapes are fire, man.
Bro. And so many people are like, we hate the cassette tapes. I'm just like, dude, the cassette tapes might be more fire than the vinyls are.
Low key, because they take up way less space.
Yeah. Oh my God. If I could only show you behind me right now. Exactly. Oh my boy. Man, you have the Neptunes. That's a fire. That's a fire win.
I caught that. It was like $4. I was like, yep.
Way cheaper, and you get a physical copy.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's good. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I had one more that like was definitely. I was just scrolling through my notes, and I had one more where it's something I've been testing more and more on my end as a creator and being a creative is live streams.
Yeah.
I feel like live streams went like this, and then it went down, and I feel like we're back on the up because for that same thing you said, it was a point of time when it was up here, you couldn't talk to your favorite streamer.
Oh no.
There's 600 people commenting at the same time. Like how can you say anything to this person?
Exactly.
Where now somebody like I said, me as a creator, I'm in a chat room with 15 people on a Saturday.
Yep.
They can say whatever they want to me, and I am going to have to see it.
Exactly. is literally, it's almost like big university with 600 people in the room versus small D3 school with 15 people in here. It's
exactly. It's a different experience. And like I've been on Twitch like since I was like in grade school.
Yeah.
And there's a Twitch person I've been following since grade school that I still rock with to this day. And he averages like 15,000 viewers. And it's like I would never think I don't even chat in it. It's to the point I don't even say anything in it. Where, like I said, a smaller streamer, you hop into their stream, you can say something right off the rip, like, "Hey, yo,
yeah,
it's good, man. How your day going?"
Yeah, just check in with her. How's your mom doing?
Right.
I wanted to ask you one more thing too, because going back to the physical music, this is something else that it seems kind of new too. Artists are putting bonus tracks on the physical copies. There's always additional tracks, and I'm like, that kind of like entices me to buy a little bit. I don't know, but then like, what if you get the bonus track is garbage?
I mean, I think the bonus track is in addition to like the artwork. The artwork is usually pretty cool.
Facts.
The vinyls, you can probably get a poster in there. Throw some other things in there. The bonus track, it could be. That's what they do with the deluxe. I was just saying, people dropping the deluxe albums, like 3 of the songs are throwaways anyway.
Bro. Yeah, your favorite artist Gucci Mane, he's dropping 80-track albums for us. That's not even, and that's not even the deluxe.
That's not even the deluxe.
Not even the deluxe.
I hope you don't drop a deluxe for that one.
The deluxe.
I wish I seen the like. How many plays is that getting? Like, who is listening to that? Who's the demographic? Like, I would love to see the stats behind an 80-song album.
When I saw he dropped it, I was like, "There's no way." And then I think the next time I even heard about it was when I saw you guys on Nobody's on Reel. I was like, "Man," I was like, "I forgot this even existed."
Yeah, I didn't even click it. I still ain't clicked that.
He said, "I'm still not doing it. This is getting none of my playtime."